morning, guys. Welcome to first grade. Now, we all know here that we love numbers. Numbers are everywhere. Give me some examples of numbers. We got numbers in our addresses, our mom telephone numbers, our dad phone numbers. How old are you? That's a number. We all deal with numbers every day. Numbers can be helpful. They can help us with so many things as far as solving daily problems, as far as with money. Those are all number related. Numbers will become our friends. But first we got to learn all the different aspects of numbers. And two helpful people that you will encounter in this idea of numbers, it's a little boy and it's a little girl, okay? And the girl's name is addition, and the boy's name is subtraction. Now, how we understand both of these things is that they are closely related, but also very different at the same time. So just like as far as yourself, as in when you see that addition, subtraction, or as far as you with your brother and sister, you know that you're very much alike, but also very different. So with addition, we also have the concept of giving. So I want you to know that the addition, that cute little girl up there, I don't draw so well, but she looks a lot better in person. The fact is that she's giving or adding. So I don't know if you guys ever seen any of you guys know what that means? Okay. I'm going to give you another clue about addition. It also has a nickname. Just like I had a nickname. My nickname is Mr. Fuzzy Lumpkins. Don't say that. Don't go home and tell your parents either. But it also goes by the nickname of plus. So when we're dealing with this, we're adding. We're giving. So think about it as in if you had one cookie, and then you were given, your mother gave you two. Now don't think about this in terms of this because you're not eating one of your cookies, so we're not doing nothing like that. We're just saying that you had a cookie and you're given two. So you can also count this on your hand, as simple as this. So we start off with one cookie, then you're given two, so you can count up. 1, 2, 3. So how many cookies do you have? 3 cookies. Simple. Not hard. And once again, I told you, numbers are your friends. So Dylan also, it also comes along with this equal sign. But this equal sign is kind of like their long lost brother in a way, to where he shows up certain times, but only after they have already done their work. Now going back to the guy, the boy here, subtraction. Now this guy, he always wants to take something away. He has a nickname that's called minus. So he always wants to take something away. So imagine now that you have 2 cookies, but one is taken away. So that means that you have less cookies than you had before. Dealing with that is, here's your previous 2 cookies, and then like I already told you, his nickname, subtraction's nickname, minus. 2 minus 1 equals their long lost brother. 2 minus 1, so we can do it on our hands. We got 2 cookies. So this time instead of putting fingers up, we're taking fingers away. So we have 2 cookies, and then we're going to take 1 away. So you had 2 cookies, you ate 1. How many do you have left? Not a thumb, just 1. So simply we just put that right there. And once again, it's just the fact is that numbers as a whole are just here to help you. And numbers are related in almost everything we do, almost in our basic shapes. So when you look at this guy right here, and that guy right there, and this guy right here, this long fellow, the fact is that we got to look at how numbers relate to them. So if you look at this shape right here, and why it's classified as Mr. Triangle, put it right there, Mr. It's because it has 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. Now that's how you can tell a triangle, because it has 3 sides. And we got to his long lost relative, Mr. Square. Now Mr. Square has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. But also its relative is Mr. Rectangle. Now Mr. Rectangle is very similar to a square in that it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. But the difference is that two of the sides of the rectangle are longer than the other 2. They both have 2 sides that are the same length, but both of those sides are not as long as the other 2. Usually, 2 are shorter than the other one. Now, numbers also help us relate to the idea of time. Now, we all know time. We all know what? We probably get out of here around 3 o'clock. That's when your mom and dad come pick you up. And as far as dealing with time, we deal with a man that I like to call Mr. Clock. Now, Mr. Clock, he comes equipped with a bunch of numbers, all through 1 through 12. Now, you can count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, who in here has a watch? Your time is not written the same as Mr. Clock maybe, because I'm pretty sure in saying today's time, that's more so in Mr. Fuzzy Lumpkin's time, that we had watches that look like this, but your watches look more so like this, to where it's 12:55. Now, what needs to be related, or what needs to be also that explained, is how this clock relates to this clock, because they're both telling the same time. Crazy, right? Same time. So we need to look at the fact is that when we're dealing with this, we have a second hand and a minute hand. And an hour hand. Sorry, guys. So the second hand is this very small one. So it's like it's almost like right here, and it goes around and counts every second. And then you have your minute hand, which is very important because your minute hand helps your hour hand move. So that's how you really need to know how they're related to each other. And the fact is in how each one of these times are significant as in counting by 5s. So who here knows how to count by 5s? Let's practice that real quick. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, 55, 60. Now, the importance of that is that these seconds they work hand in hand with these. So, just count along with me once again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then for all purposes here, since we don't really go to 60 on the clock, 0, 0. Now, does this help out a little bit more now that we see that how 12:55 relates to the regular clock? And now as you see, the minute hand is to the 11th because what? It's 55, that's the time also. And we also see that 12 is here because of what time it is. And as the hour hand moves, as the minute hand moves, it helps the hour hand complete its job. Now, this has been a very busy day in first grade already. I don't want to be so hard on you guys, so once again, we're just going to review some things, some concepts that we learned today, and just see how you guys can work along. Now, we learned about two brothers and sisters today, right? Addition and subtraction. She's a girl, and she always wants to give or add, and her nickname is what? Plus. And then this is her brother, subtraction, and he always wants to take away, and his nickname is what? Minus. Now we also learned about the fact is of how these guys are also, when their nicknames are used, they also have certain signs that they go by. So for addition, her sign looks like this, with a almost like an X on this side, and we deal with subtraction as in just a line going across. So once again, we know how they are closely related, but also very different. Addition, giving or adding, subtraction, to take away or minus. Then we also learned about three shapes that you deal with often. Mr. Triangle, that has 3 sides. Mr. Square, that has 4 sides. And Mr. Rectangle, that has 4 sides, but we also said that 2 sides are bigger than the other, and that they also have 2 sides that are the same size as each other, same length as each other. Then we went to Mr. Clock. Mr. Clock, as you see, regular counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But what was different about it is that it also helps us count by 5s in order to tell the time. So for instance, like a time like 12:55, we count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and we have our time. And we deal with our what? Minute hand, hour hand. And what helps as these times go by, and what helps them is that as the minute hand moves, it helps the hour hand complete its job. So guys, I think it's almost time for your parents to come pick you up. I had a great day. I hope you had a great day. And we shall meet again tomorrow.